Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have another diamond in the rough for you guys to meet. His name is Duncan Busby. He is a wide receiver out of Bemidji State. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you as well. I'm glad you can have me.
Yeah, so if people don't understand Bemidji State, man, you guys have been really dominating your conference over the past several years and really, I don't know, just kind of putting together a lot of great wins and putting out some people, some great athletes along the way who have gotten some buzz like yourself. Sorry, I had to throw in a pun there for your last name, but I think it'll work. But Dell, give us a little bit of your story. Tell me where you're from, and we'll walk from there.
So I'm originally from Toronto, Canada. Was born in Vancouver, moved to Toronto at a fairly young age. Um, that's kind of where I was. I'm from there, and I kind of just moved to the States my sophomore year of high school, and then yeah.
Okay, so obviously being born in Canada makes you a CFL prospect as well as an NFL prospect, and of course nowadays we've got a lot of other leagues that might want you as well. But I mean, kind of interesting to say this, man. I mean, doing a little bit of research, a lot of people have you as like a top 20 CFL prospect. I don't know how does that feel to like kind of get that you know, I don't know, accolade, notoriety. Like how does that how are you taking all that?
Honestly, I take it to the chest. I mean, I'm appreciative of everybody that has kind of helped me get to this point. It's not like it's just me that's done this. I am grateful for the opportunity and everybody that kind of has and views me in that kind of way. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be here without everybody else.
Gotcha. So let's go back and walk through your journey once more. You said you moved to the States your sophomore year. But at some point, I don't know, tell me how you were first introduced to this game of football, man. How long you been playing the game?
So I moved to the States originally to play basketball. I grew up playing basketball. It was kind of one of those like storybook kind of things where um, moved to a new school. All of a sudden, football coach comes up to me, introduces himself, and is like, "Hey, you look like you could help out our team," type thing. Um, I was a little skeptical at first, obviously being basketball. I was maybe a buck 50 soaking wet at that point in time. Um, but honestly, it was kind of like a new thing for me and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, I loved playing basketball, but it was the new shiny, bright everything that I had. And then to kind of keep going, my junior year, I gave it a shot. I ended up kind of hurting myself in the summer, so I ended up staying on the JV squad. So technically, my first varsity action wasn't until my senior year of high school.
Interesting. So I guess that would make you, I guess, relatively new to the game, except for the fact that you've been at Bemidji for a while because of the whole pandemic and extra year and all this other stuff in between. But uh, for the most part, kind of new. But I mean, I think a lot of people see you as a guy who is a legitimate prospect. Let's just be real. And a lot of that comes with you kind of filling out. I mean, you kind of talked to me about like, you in high school as a skinny dude, but where are you at these days, man? What's your current height and weight?
I weighed 210. I'm 6'3".
So, I mean,
Pretty decent.
obviously pretty darn good size for a receiver. Let's just be blunt about it. And most quarterbacks would love to have guys like you. Obviously, being a good target to throw to. So, cool, man. Obviously, you got that going for you. So we're checking all the boxes. But walk me through this story one more time about how you got to Bemidji, man. Like, how did the recruiting process go for you overall?
So, since I didn't start playing football to my senior year, I did go to a prep school just for the semester of after I graduated. So I graduated in 2017. So for the fall of 2017, I went to a prep school. Kind of showed me a little bit more about the game of football. Was able to kind of develop a little bit more. I was originally verbally committed to an NAI school out in Kansas City, and then the old defensive coordinator that was old Robbie Arich. He gave me a call, and it was around the same time when Coach Pike, he just came in as well, who is our offensive coordinator right now. They both kind of talked to me and basically just showed extreme interest and kind of explained like how I could potentially fit in the program. And I was honestly, I was excited to just have the opportunity, just kind of not knowing where everything was kind of going at that point in my life. But yeah, no, I was super appreciative, and I think what really drew me here was kind of the want or the that the coaches had for me. And yeah, and I mean, I've been here since the spring of 2018, and I've haven't left since because honestly, I do love it out here.
Well, hey, that's great. What else do you love about Bemidji? I mean, Bemidji State. For people that maybe have never stepped onto campus, never stepped into those classrooms there. Tell me a little bit more about Bemidji State.
I mean, it's a fairly small school. I mean, everybody kind of knows everybody, especially within like the sports world. Everybody knows who you are and kind of stuff like that. So it kind of creates a little bit more of like a bond, family kind of atmosphere because we all support each other from different teams and stuff and all that stuff. Outside of the sports realm, or even just kind of like the day to day life. Summers are great. Got a land of 10,000 lakes. You can't ask for anything better. You can kind of just go out into a boat, super nice, kind of lounge out that way. The winters do get very cold out here, which isn't the most fun, but it definitely builds a little bit of toughness out of you. But then just kind of coming back to like the team and stuff like that, like you said, like we've been able to kind of have a lot of success over the recent years, and it's because of all the guys that we've had. Everybody's kind of bought into what Coach Bolte and each of the or offensive and defensive coordinators and coaches are talking about, which has kind of helped us gel together and be able to make historical runs that we've had that Bemidji State has never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, dominating the NSIC, really doing a fantastic job over the past couple of years. And so let's go ahead and talk about this offense that you're a part of, man. I mean, I remember I guess last season I was talking to one of the star wide receivers there in Bolio, and you're the next man up. I mean, I don't know, did he give you any sort of I don't know, tips of the trade, so to speak? I mean, how did that relationship with him pan out? I mean, is it competitive or what?
Oh, I mean, Bolio is definitely one of the most competitive people that I know. Just whether or not it comes to football, whether or not it comes to anything, kind of. He's always been like that. Him and I were roommates, so a lot of the time we were just kicking the can together and hanging out and all that kind of stuff. I would say he's become one of my best friends in life. We've kind of been able to grow in that kind of way. In terms of football, I mean, I mean, I am young. I'm still learning everything. I definitely come a long way from when I've started. Um, but he definitely helped me out with kind of just, I'd be like, oh, why did you run this route this way type thing, and he would always be very accepting and kind of talk to me and help me out with any questions that I had, whether or not it was on the field or off the field. But he was kind of like a big bro for me in that kind of way, and I mean I do appreciate him for that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely part of an offense that's very explosive, that's led there by your quarterback in Brandon Alt. So, how would you describe that offense for people that maybe haven't seen it yet?
It's full go. We which has been nice this season. We've been able to run the ball a lot more effectively and stuff like that, which has made my life and Brandon's life a lot easier. I feel like in years past, obviously we've been a lot more pass heavy, kind of slinging the ball around, kind of like backyard football type stuff, just trying different things and getting the ball into our playmakers' hands and just letting us do what we do best. Um, Definitely a spread. offense, 10 personnel, try to take the top off the bends and stuff like that. I mean, our whole little thing is zone six, just because we score a lot of touchdowns in the wide receiver room, and obviously quarterbacks are included in that as well. But yeah,
Nice. So, what do you believe you do the best there? I mean, give me a sense for you as a prospect. I mean, obviously as wide receiver. Let's start with something simple, man. Give me your favorite route.
whatever route gets me open, honestly. I'm not too picky in that kind of way.
All right, well, that's fair. Well, how would you describe yourself as a wide receiver? I mean, obviously, we've already described you. You're a big guy, great targets to throw to. I mean, what are some of your best strengths?
Definitely deep ball. A lot of if you do watch, that is one thing that we do a lot of. We do take a lot of shots downfield. I'd say I'm pretty fast. I can usually eat up a lot of ground pretty quickly with my frame and be able to pass the defender whether or not they're in a deep zone or they're pressed. I would say that I've definitely become more of a physical kind of guy, using my stature to my benefit, whether or not that's in the run game or quick RPOs and all that kind of stuff. And then I feel like just in general, just like I feel like I've grown into a leadership kind of role. I've been around the team for a long time, so people do kind of respect what I say. And it's just, I feel like being able to be that kind of leader, especially in the wide receiver room, has definitely been something that I've relished and I enjoy doing now.
So, give me a sense of like your opposition. I mean, what do you feel your opponents, whenever they're matched up against you, what do you feel like that? Give me some idea of like some of the mistakes they're making, man. Like when they're matched up against you, like, um, what are you taking advantage of?
It all depends on the corner whether or not he's super physical. If he's super physical, then I'm going to be super physical back with him. If he's playing off, then like I said, I'm pretty fast, so I'll just kind of eat up that space that he's giving me. I feel like it's just kind of a week to week type thing, depending on what the coach's philosophy may be for how it is that they want to try to stop us. But I just try to read it out as best as I can and go from there.
Cool. Well, let's continue to talk about the program there at Bemidji State. I'm talking to you from the frame reference of really just the beginning of the season. I mean, you guys have only have a couple games into the season so far, coming away with W's, which is awesome. And so you guys are setting the trend once again. Creating momentum and going to get yourself to a point at some point later in the season where we're talking about things like playoffs and championships. So, how are you guys going to get there, man? How are you guys going to get to that one point? Like, what's going to happen for you guys to maybe hoist that trophy at the end of the year?
Well, I mean, every day when we break it down, Bolty's always talking about kind of taking it one day at a time. Obviously, we would love to get to that point at the end of the road, but everything is a day by day process, rep by rep thing. That's definitely something that's kind of hammered home to us. And then obviously just being 1-0 every week. So like this week when we play Winona, trying to figure out whatever way possible to get that win, whether or not it's through me or through the run game or somebody else that is on the opposite side of me from the defensive side. It's kind of just as long as we keep buying into everything, that'll definitely help us get to the point in which we want to get to.
Gotcha. I want to give you the opportunity to shout out some more of your teammates there, because I mean, I know we've talked about a couple of them, but maybe some of the guys that we haven't talked about yet. Who impresses you the most there? Who should we keep an eye out for there at Bemidji?
I would definitely say the guy that's on the opposite side of me on the football field for the most part, Jake Hill, number two. He's a fellow outside receiver. Call him Slim Reaper, just because he gets in and out and moves pretty well. Um, Joey, he's my dog. Joey and Bubba, those are the two slot receivers that are usually there. Wandy is able to come in and kind of help us out on the outside. Um, then like Ali Muhammad, he's a transfer. He used to go to Minot, but now he's here. He's definitely helped us out a lot. Um, and then kind of we've already talked about alts. So then kind of going back onto like the defensive side of the ball, Princeton Harris, he's definitely helped me in a lot of ways. Just with the kind of player that he is, he's easily one of the best corners I've ever gone up against in my time being here. And it's kind of nice having him on our team here, and he's definitely pushed me to try to be better. And then obviously I got just friends and stuff like that. So like Elijah Brown, DJ McCray, all those guys. Those are interior D linemen. Stephen Hoffman, he's a captain this year. He's super dope. And I mean, I could keep going on and on. I could list every all 110 guys, but
Well, hey, the number that you did mention there, I think is great. People definitely need to keep an eye on you guys this season because I mean, each and every year we've already talked about the fact that you're always in the running for championships, gonna make a run in the playoffs, and who knows what's gonna happen, but definitely keep a close eye on things. I know you're talking about all your teammates there. Been a part of a lot of great moments. Give me maybe one of those. What's maybe one of your favorite moments so far that you've had with your teammates?
I would definitely say it would be Augie 2021 when we first made it to the playoffs. That was kind of like a surreal feeling, and I would definitely say that is definitely a top moment for me. I would also say another when we played Augie, I believe it was 2019 on homecoming. We kind of won on a last second touchdown. It was crazy. Little pop pass, go for two at the end of the game there. Those and then I mean every time homecoming comes around, just being able to jump into the lake, that's always a fun time to be around.
Well, it sounds like a whole lot of fun. So certainly something to look forward to. And again, we got several more games this season, so maybe you'll be able to top some of those memories that you've had so far. That's what we're hoping for. So, Dell, do want to meet you outside of this game of football a little bit. So, tell me something about yourself that I don't know, maybe perhaps nobody else knows, or at least the public, so to speak. So whether that be your interests, maybe some hobbies, give me a little something about yourself to share.
Me personally, I would definitely say I love playing video games. That's definitely the new era of everything like that. Just kind of being able to take my mind off of just another way to be able to take my mind off of everyday life. And then honestly, I've done a bit of coaching, just with like a lot of like younger people, or like high school age, just kind of testing my waters, just kind of seeing how it is being on the opposite side of the ball and stuff like that. So I definitely would say that kind of that another part of leadership role there is just being able to coach and direct the young people. But yeah, I feel like video games and honestly, I just like hanging out with my guys and my friends.
I got you. You had talked about coaching, and so obviously, I don't know, maybe that you could see yourself doing that, like after your football days are done. But I'm also a little curious, what you've accomplished there as a student. I'm pretty sure you've graduated at least once. So, what have you been able to accomplish academically?
Yep, like you said, I've graduated. I have my sports management degree, minor in business, and I do have my coaching certificate on top of that. I mean,
Cool.
I had a pretty solid GPA going through. I've been right around the 3 point average, so B average for the most part. And yeah,
Gotcha. A couple other quick questions. Again, just kind of maybe a short answer. So, favorite movie?
oof. I am Legend.
I Am Legend. That's a okay. Will Smith, right? Okay.
Yep.
Try. I haven't heard of that one in a while, but I mean that definitely a good one. Music artist.
I'm definitely on a huge Lil Durk kick right now, but I would have to say I'm a sucker for the '90s, early 2000s hip hop.
Okay, cool, cool. How about maybe like a favorite treat or snack?
Oh gosh. I have a sweet tooth. I have a really bad sweet tooth. Honestly, any candy is kind of my go-to in for any
So
situation.
favorite candy bar. Let me put you on the spot. Snickers or what?
We'll see. I'm allergic to nuts, so I haven't had a Snickers, but I
Uh,
do love Kit Kats. Kit Kats are definitely my favorite chocolate bar.
okay, okay. Sorry, man, you're allergic to nuts, man. That's gotta suck. I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know how people live with that allergy, but I mean, obviously you gotta take and deal with it. But definitely an interesting little factoid about that. So no PB&J your way. So interesting. If I don't know, if you had an opportunity to meet like a famous celebrity, whether it be actor, musician, athlete, anybody in particular that you'd love a chance to meet?
um, I, honestly, if I could have, if he was still alive, I would have to say Kobe. He's definitely a top guy. Just kind of being able to pick his brain out a little bit would definitely be a life making thing for me.
And I mean, I know you were, mainly a basketball guy for a long time there. I mean, I was thinking there for a second, again, guy from Toronto, like I think back to Vince Carter because that's my day.
Yeah,
He's definitely an awesome player. But you a fan these days? Do you watch?
I do. I find it a little bit harder to watch the NBA during the regular season. I being from Toronto, definitely celebrated the championship when we won it back in 2019. Definitely celebrated that one.
Cool, cool. Well, Dale, do you want to wrap up our time? It's been great getting to know you and just kind of hanging out. So, again, a guy who I know is a top 20 CFL prospect, but I know that there are a lot of other leagues, especially the NFL, that might also be interested in you. I mean, obviously, we have a guy here who is part of a very explosive offense and has some great size to work with, which I know a lot of people like that. So go ahead and close us out and tell us why people need to take a chance on you, man. Hit us with your pitch and close us out.
Honestly, it's the cliche. Just honestly, as soon as I get on the football field, it's game on. There's usually no friends. I'm very focused on business at that point in time. Um, I I would say I'm a very hard worker. I love the grind. I love the aspect of being able to build myself. I don't like not succeeding. So if I'm not good at something, I love being able to keep practicing it and working on it as best as I can.
Well, cool. Definitely want to wish you all the best this upcoming season and beyond. Certainly a name for people to keep an eye on here. Again, Duncan Busby, wide receiver, Bemidji State. Thanks for your time, man.
Thank you very much for having me.